And you may feel as you inhale, the chest and the lungs expand. So the breath is very subtle. Can we feel the breath through the body? And I'll invite us for a few cleansing breaths. It can help to release any stress in the muscles and the joints. If you're comfortable to sigh the breath out with a gentle exhale. Breathing in gently through the nose, and you expand, just energize the lungs with the breath. So you breathe in, and relaxing the diaphragm. And so as you exhale. To feel how the body and the breath support us to be present throughout the practice. And I'll invite us to bring the hands to connect with the heart. So feel a connection between your palms, folded at your heart center. Or you can bring your hands together in a gesture of namaskar. Let us feel a connection between our hands. Feel a connection between our hearts. And let us set an intention for our practice. I invite us for an intention for well-being, an intention for our loved ones, and the highest intention of yoga to share this with all beings. And I'll invite us to vocalize. Universal sounds will bring awareness to the body, relaxation. So as you vibrate ah, you can feel the base of the spine. Ooh, relax the diaphragm. And the closed sound ma, you can feel into the temples, the crown of the head. So let us begin with an exhalation. And we'll breathe in to vibrate together if you're comfortable. Feel into the heart space. And begin to stretch and extend the legs and the arms. You can yawn and stretch. Just very naturally awaken the body. You can enjoy a few moments relaxing on our sides. You can lay and rest on the sides of the body a few moments. And very slowly to seated when you're ready. I'll take your time to come up nice and slowly. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Buenos dias. Good morning. And acknowledging we're all here, we got out of bed to be here, so that's good. Welcome. And we'll begin with a few gentle kind of movements to warm up the hips. So as we're seated, just feel comfortable to lean forward on the in-breath. And then exhalation can guide the movement back. Next. If it feels more comfortable, if you want to create more space, you can actually open the legs just to have a little bit more room. Inhale as you roll forward. And exhale as you gently roll back. So I'll give options through the practice, and it's always important to feel what's good for you. It's not about doing, it's actually about feeling the body and listening. So if you're comfortable to close your eyes, it's an option. And let the breath guide these gentle movements to warm up the hips. Feel free to change the direction as your body guides you. Can you relax into the lower back as you breathe out? You can gently find your center, so you can slowly find your center point. How does it feel to really ground down through your seat? And invite a full breath. Let us energize the spine as you breathe in. As you breathe out, can we soften? Can we relax the shoulders, the face? As you feel ready to release the head all the way down, to relax the neck. And you can open your eyes just gradually as you're ready. I'll invite us onto our knees. And you may like to even ground onto the blanket. It could be a bit more comfortable if you like. And how does it feel to just take moments to feel very connected with the knees beneath your hips? How does it feel to spread your palms beneath your shoulders? And then exhaling to round through the spine. Inhale as you lengthen and open the front of the body. And let the breath guide us through this cat and cow movement. And exhale and round gently. And let us become a little curious as opposed to wanting to do. Let us notice how the body feels. How does the lower spine feel as we move? How does the middle and the upper back feel? If you feel comfortable to reach your opposite hand and opposite leg, inhale as you extend and open. And then exhale as you gently ground and round. You could choose to bring the knee closer towards you as you round the back. And just enjoy a few movements on the one side. If you like, it's an option. You can still stay grounded with both your hands and both your knees. Those are options. Nice way to massage the spine to relax. You can change sides if you're doing one at a time. Feel free to ground both your hands as well. That's an option. Just be very receptive. It's a quality that we cultivate in yoga. It's like the moon quality. It's very receptive. How does the body feel? And you can find your center when you feel ready to pause a few moments. And with your hips above your knees, I'll invite us into, it's a variation of dog pose down. You can lengthen through the sides of the body. Allow your head to encourage your neck and your shoulders to release. We'll take a few moments just listening to the body, noticing how the body feels, without any labels or judgment. And you allow your head and your heart to take moments to release, even if it means bending your elbows. That could be a nice option, just to release the shoulders and the head, the neck to become quiet, to settle down to the mat. And you can choose to stay with the knees down for this variation of dog pose. Still has all the benefits. If you wanted to invert the body, you could choose to inhale and raise your hips. So those are the two variations of dog pose, with the knees lifted or the knees grounded. See what works best for you this morning. And I'll invite us to take the feet nice and wide to the edge of the mat. How does it feel to bend your knees? Very gently, can you feel a nice release into the lower back? Just a little micro bend in your knees. Can you invite your hips to lift? Can we encourage the heart and the head to rest? Good. Okay, and I'll invite us to gaze forward. And then gently we'll step ahead. Take a nice wide stance of the feet. And you can even line up your feet. How does it feel to bring your feet right to the edges of the mat? And with an inhalation, let's energize the spine to lift. You can arch your spine open like a back extension. So it's really nice to create length and space in the front of the abdomen. And just enjoy a few breaths. You warm up the spine. And you can choose to stay upward. That's quite energizing. It's kind of like a back extension. Creates a lot of space in the abdomen. Or you can choose to exhale and gently fold forward. Also being upwards would help to strengthen your spine, as opposed to being downwards would help to just lengthen the spine. So choose either head up like a back extension or head down like a forward extension. Just explore, be a bit curious. How do they feel different in the body? And you can even move between. Exhale as you go down. Forward extension, quite calming. And then inhale as you rise up. Back extension, quite energizing. And with an exhalation, you can stabilize and support your lower back. Even hug the baby. Imagine we activate the core of the body like hugging the baby. Okay, so hug the baby. And then inhale, we're going to come up nice and slowly. Yeah, you can raise and reach your arms if it feels good. And then exhaling, hands to find your center. Okay. Nice. Hope everybody's comfortable. Muy bien. We will introduce a few movements that are going to come together as this moon salutation. So it's very much a calming, it's a cooling sequence. We can begin in Montaña. This will be our first kind of base posture. How does it feel to soften your knees? And even just take moments to energize your arms and really ground through the feet and the legs. So it's quite active, but a relaxed position to feel. And with an exhalation, you can turn open palms and rise up and reach with an in-breath. You can choose to go wide with your hands if that feels more relaxed on your shoulders, if you feel more freedom that way. Or you can choose to interlace your fingers, just crossing over the thumbs, and then exhaling to the sides of the body. Inhale to center. How does it feel to raise your eyes? Can you energize your spine? And then over to the opposite side when you're ready to exhale. This is one of the moon poses we'll do. It's a crescent moon. So let us become receptive. How do the sides of the body feel? How does the breath feel through the body? And then slowly to find your center, you can inhale and gaze. Just very gently, your neck is quite relaxed. Can you invite your chest and your upper spine to open? And then exhaling to release. Let the hands settle. Okay, I'm going to invite us to lengthen on the in-breath. So you can open and start feeling the upper part of your back nice and strong. The neck is quite relaxed and free. Exhale as we come halfway down. This time with the hands on the back, we can do our back extension. So inhale to lengthen and to lift. How does it feel to raise your elbows gently? And it may be nice to have your blocks in your reach. I'll just show us. We're going to step back for lunging. So your right leg back for lunging. The blocks can be nice to support your spine and the upper body to open. So feel that your back knee and the top of the back foot is comfortably grounded. And I'll bring awareness to the front alignment. Alignment is really bringing awareness and ease into the body. How does it feel to let your hips gently relax down? And can you bring your foot right underneath your knee? It can be even nice to go wide on your stance. So just to create good space, good balance. There's always a balance in yoga, like an active and a passive action. Can you let your hips relax down? And to balance, can we lift the spine, lift the chest, energize the upper body? And then you can choose to ground hands. And through lunging, so really feel nice and connected, palms wide, feel grounded. And then gently stepping back, we can do an inverted dog pose, or you can choose to ground onto your knees, a more restorative dog pose. You can actually feel if you're doing the head down dog pose, it's a nice variation. You can actually let your hips lift forward. So your hips and your knees are aligned, and there's a lot of space for the spine to rest, the abdomen to rest. Feel receptive. It's quite active, these poses, but to balance that active quality, can we be like the moon, very receptive, just to feel, to listen to the body. When you're ready to lunge on the opposite side, you can ground your right knee, and then the left leg, we can step gently ahead. With an exhalation, invite the hips to settle. And as you're ready to energize your spine to lift, you can breathe in, open up the chest and the lungs. You can choose to vary your reach. You can still keep your hands down. It's quite nice to strengthen the shoulders. You can choose an open reach. You can choose an upward reach. You can choose to move with the breath. Just explore a little bit. Notice how the different gestures of your hands make you breathe differently, make you feel differently. Maybe nice to go wide. Give us a nice sense of stability. Good. And I'll invite us to step forward as you're ready, nice and slowly. So with an in-breath, you can step ahead and arch your spine open for a back extension. You can have the support of your blocks or your shins to create more space in the spine here. You can choose to stay up in the back extension, or if you'd like to go forward, follow the exhalation, just to release the head, release the heart to relax. And then with an in-breath, you'd rise up. You can exhale, support your lower back, and hug the baby. And then inhale as you're ready to rise up. You can raise your reach. And exhale to find hands at center. And just take a few moments in mountain just to reflect. It's the process of feeling and listening. And you can just relax your arms, relax the joints. Hope everybody's good. I'll invite us just to clear the mats. We're going to just work a little bit with the length of the mat. And if you're facing on this side, you can turn towards the center of the room. And on this side, we'll face towards the center. And we'll work with the longer edge of the mat. And how does it feel to turn the toes out? We're going to take the heels slightly in, the toes slightly out. And with an exhalation, we can gently settle into this goddess pose. So similar feeling and awareness. How does it feel to bring your knees open and back over your ankles? So you may value to go a little bit wide. And if you want to be more relaxed today, if you're feeling a bit tired or fatigued, you can just straighten your legs. And then it's not so much of a workout, it's more of a way to replenish your energy. Those are options. And you can choose an open reach. You can choose to center your palms. You can choose to raise your hands. Just let us breathe through the body. And then inhale to find your center. How does it feel to turn the feet facing forward? It's always a nice workout for the legs, very simply. You're going to turn towards the mountain. The whole front leg you can turn open towards the mountain. And how does it feel to slightly move your back foot in? Can you find strength in your back leg? And with an in-breath, you'd open to the long edge of your mat. And exhaling for extended triangle. You can come down nice and slowly. Can be nice to feel the lower back. The hand on your waist can give leverage to turn, open your spine and your chest. Even notice how it feels to come up a little higher on your shin. And you create more length for the spine to turn open. Just gentle breaths. As we hold the pose, it can be nice to just look ahead or even look down if there's tension in the neck. So not to put pressure on the neck. You can look more neutral, look more down as you breathe. And in the vinyasa, when you're ready to raise your gaze, you can focus at your thumb tip as you breathe. And as you look up, we're ready to come up. So use your breath in to rise up, nice and slowly inhaling. Find your center. And then over to the opposite side, the whole front leg open. Just a small angle for strength. You can inhale to the center. And then exhaling into extended triangle. It's good. You can observe the angle of your foot will kind of direct the spine. So your foot now is turning to the long edge of the mat. Then you turn your spine open towards the long edge of the mat. You can raise your reach, raise your gaze. And use your inhalation to rise up, come up slowly. And turn the feet facing forward. And I'll invite us to step gently to the short edge of the mat and come to the top of the mat. Just a few moments in mountain to feel, just to reflect, to be receptive. How does the body feel? And we're facing a good direction. I would just mention that the blocks are nearby. It seems like they're in a good position. We'll reach for them. And with your feet about hip distance, you can feel your spine will be in the same line of your hips. And just keeping that alignment, we can step back gently. It's a smaller stance. So can you feel the strength in your back heel really grounding down? You may like to go a little wider on your center. That gives space for the hips to turn. How does it feel to bring your back hip forward? So like your right hip will go forward. And your front hip, your left hip to go gently back. So it's a very slight turn to face the front of your mat. Yeah, so that's good. And then with an in-breath, you can begin lengthening. You can raise your chest and your eyes gently. And then exhaling halfway down. So for a back extension, you can breathe in. How does it feel to raise your elbows and energize the front of your spine to lift? And then hands to ground, right beneath your shoulders, will give us a nice support to, again, like a back bend, energize your spine on the in-breath to come up gently. So you can feel the back line of the body becoming quite active, becoming quite strong and stable. And you can choose to stay upward. That's a nice energizing option, or an option to reach your hands forward. So lengthening. It's also nice, creates a lot of space in the abdomen, the spine. And can you allow the head, the heart, just to gently rest? Okay, when you're ready to inhale, we'll rise up halfway for our back extension. And exhale to feel stable. And hug the baby. And then inhale to rise up. You can go little bit by little bit to step in, just nice and gradually. Take a few moments to find your balance. Feels good. And then we'll step the opposite leg back. So just to balance the stretch. Feel your back heel is grounding nice and stable. And even the direction of your back foot facing quite deeply forward will give us the freedom to turn your hips gently forward. And then with an inhalation, lengthen. Follow exhaling forward. Then you can arch the spine. You just energize the spine to lift as you inhale. It's good. The block's right beneath you. You can again, it's almost like an upward facing, like a back extension movement. Let us energize the spine to open. It's good. And as you feel ready to lengthen forward, exhale to move forward and lengthen through the sides of your body, lengthen through the front of your spine. And can you allow the head to rest? And as you feel ready to rise up, take your time, enjoy a few breaths. When you're ready to come up slowly, inhaling, halfway lifted. Exhaling to stabilize. And then inhale when you're ready to rise up. And then and little bit by little bit, you can step in. And just take moments to balance, to ground. May feel a nice release on the hamstrings. It works quite well on the hamstrings, the lower back. And just take moments to feel, check into the body kindly. And I'll offer us a quick demonstration of the full sequence. So we're going to put a few of the postures together. It can be nice to see it at first, and then we know where we're going with the whole sequence. So I'll just show us very briefly. All the poses would be a little bit familiar. Okay. There's this small little lunging pose that will kind of bring the two sides together. So we'll lunge in between and we'll turn over. And then basically the sequence will mirror. We'll go back, low lunging. This pyramid pose. You'll see the angle of your foot will determine the direction of your spine. So here as we go for triangle, you would open the back foot, triangle pose. And then we should find our way back to center. Okay. That's a little full moon dance. Okay. So yeah, we would have done sun salutations before, perhaps. This is the moon salutation. It's more kind of cooling, calming, inward. Looks fun. Yeah. Okay. So we'll come right to the front of the mat. And we'll take moments in mountain. Each of the poses is a nice opportunity just to feel. It's less about doing the poses, more about feeling and breathing. With an exhalation, turn open. Inhale when you're ready to reach. And then exhale over to half moon. Inhale to center. Over to the sides. Inhale, you can gaze softly. And then we'll step open. So you can face towards the center of the room if it feels comfortable. And you'll extend into the hands, extend into the feet. For goddess, you can turn toes out, heels in, and settle into the lunging on an exhale. We'll do 2 or 3 breaths so you can really feel the breath. Even count the breath as a mantra, as a mental focus. And inhale as you're ready to center. We'll turn towards the mountain side, the whole front leg open. Small angle of your back foot. Inhale to center. And then exhale for triangle pose. You feel your neck is neutral as you take a few breaths. Gaze up when you're ready to transition. And I'm going to invite us to ground both the hands onto the blocks. And just observe the direction of the back foot to turn a little closer and deeper in. You'll find yourself facing the shorter edge of the mat. Inhale to energize the spine to lift. And then exhaling and go on lengthening. There's an option here to reach forward, or you can reach back for the fold. Let's see what feels good for you. And then inhale to rise up. We'll come up halfway lifted. Exhale to ground the back knee. If you do feel the need for support, just listen to the body. Take a blanket, take a bolster if you need to support the knee. Okay, so you can inhale to reach open. You've got a nice wide, stable base. And choose to reach upwards. And then exhale, grounding hands. I'll invite us to bring the hands inside of your knee. And you can see onto the mound of your bent knee and onto the heel of your straight leg. You're going to bring the hands inside. So it's a little bit of a variation of the squatting position. That's good. So you can actually press into the heel of your straight leg if it feels good. And let's settle into the hips. If it feels good to, I'll just show from this side. It feels good to come onto the top of the foot. See how it feels, yeah. Okay, and we're going to turn over to the opposite side. It's basically just our transition to the other side. So you're going to just turn over to the other side. Very gently. You're going to turn towards lunging on the opposite side. So you should find that we'll mirror the sequence. So you'd just almost turn towards the opposite side, lowering the back knee, top of the back foot flat. So just make sure you're lunging, you're balancing the sides. You can choose your reach. You can go open, you can go upwards. Good, and then exhaling, grounding hands when you're ready. It's good. We're going to step in a little closer. So we're going to work towards that pyramid pose. So the back heel to come forward and down. Inhale to rise up halfway. So you can arch the spine. And then exhale. You can choose to reach forward. You can choose to reach back as well. Can you allow the head to gently rest? And it's good. You can feel the angle of the back foot kind of directing forward. That'll allow the back hip to roll forward. And can you allow the head, can you allow the heart to rest? And then for triangle pose, we'll open the angle of the back foot. So you can turn your back foot open towards the long edge of your mat. Then you'll notice very naturally your spine will turn more open. Good. You can choose to raise your gaze when you're ready to come up slowly. Inhale on the way up. Can you inhale slowly. Find your center. And then we're gonna gently turn open the feet for goddess pose. Exhaling as you center. We should find ourselves back towards the front edge of the mat. So very slowly, just little bit by little bit, you can step in. Raise your reach on the in-breath. And just open, relax the sides of the body as you exhale. It's good. Inhale, centering. You can fold to the sides once again if it feels good. Gently raise your gaze. Let us energize the spine. And exhaling when you're ready to bring hands to center. And we can just take moments, let us become like the moon, this quality that's very receptive. You can practice to listen. Even if it feels comfortable to close your eyes and turn in. Excuse me. With mindfulness, which we can simply translate to kindness, just check into the body. How does the body feel? How does the breath feel through the body? And you can allow the head, when you're ready to relax down. And let us take quite a nice open stance. You can go as wide as the mat. You can even choose to go a little wider if it feels more spacious. And we'll take just a soft bend in the knees. A nice restorative fold. You can hold onto your elbows if that feels a good release. You can choose to hold onto your shins or your ankles. Just enjoy this time to just restore. To allow the body to release a few moments. You can gently ground your hands to spread nice and wide. And stepping back through lunging. You can take an inverted dog pose for a few breaths. Or already, if you want to go for the grounded dog pose, take your knees to ground. Just allow moments for the head to rest. You're in dog pose with your hips lifted. You can try raising your hips by bending your knees gently. Just a soft bend in the knees to lift the hips. As we turn the body upside down in these folds, can we turn our attention as well inwards? How do we feel beneath the skin? How does the breath feel through the body? We'll take a few moments on the knees. And just keeping your hips kind of forward above your knees for this variation of dog pose. And allow the head to rest. You can even bend your elbows if it feels more relaxed to free up your neck and your shoulders. And can you allow the head to completely rest here? And we replace all thinking and doing, which is Very important. It's very natural for the mind to be balanced with the body, to feel, to be present. And then slowly taking our gaze forward. And gently raise up. You can come over onto a seated position. Everybody's good. I'm going to invite us for a very gentle bridge. It's really nice bridge towards our relaxation. So the bolster will be our support. And you can place it kind of center in the mat. So you've got some good space to rest your shoulders and rest your head on the other side of the bolster. So you'll see your bolsters kind of like centered. And depending on how long your legs reach, you can kind of set the blocks up in line with your heels. So you'll sit like halfway into the bolster. See that your heels are well supported. And I'll just very briefly show us the bridge pose before we lay back. It may be easier to see. So I'll just show us very quickly. It's nice to come down with your knees bent. And the edge of the bolster will be at the bottom of your shoulder blades. And you can actually adjust before we relax. I'll just show us quickly lifting the chest. So the heart is in an inverted position. And if your back is relaxed, you can choose to reach your legs quite active. So it will support your back. I can help you if the blocks are a little bit far, like here. I can help you to just find comfort. If the back is a little sore, you can always keep your knees bent in the position. And then coming out of the pose, I'll just show us sliding the bolster down. And then we'll go straight into our relaxation poses from here. Okay. So take your time. When you feel ready, you can keep your knees bent and just relax the spine for a few moments with your knees bent. You can lie back. Feel that the heart is doing a handstand position. And bring them a little closer for, even if you want to go a little bit more that way, if it's comfortable. See, there you go. Feels good. Yeah. So really find your strength through the feet. You feel good. Yeah. You can go a little bit that way if you bend your knees and just go slowly, a little bit. That's perfect. That's good for you. Right, so you can also keep your knees bent. For all of us, if there's any pressure on the lower back, you can bend up your knees at any point. That just will support the back. And feel the feet also give us strength in this position to relax. So how does it feel to energize your feet to lift up and to activate the legs? And you feel your spine, and it even gives signals to the nervous system to relax as we feel supported. If you'd like to adjust your heart in this position to lift, you can just let your hands turn open. How does that feel? And you can draw in the shoulders, raise up the chest. The lungs are open. The heart is doing a little handstand position. And allow us to feel the relaxation that the body is feeling in this pose. Just enjoy slow and conscious breaths through the body. You can enjoy a few more gentle breaths in this position. At any point you feel ready to transition, you can bend your knees and let the back release. Now for another bolster, it'll be one for, you can, if you straighten out the bottom leg and you can rest the top leg. If you straighten this one out and then put this one on top, see how that feels for you. So you can go a little bit more high. You go. Good. Just make sure we're comfortable. And just preparing ourselves for our full relaxation. Just encourage the body to unwind and feel soft where there's any holding. Yeah, and then as you're ready to slide the bolster down, you can bend up your knees gently to feel grounded through the feet. And then as you're ready, gently release the bolster down the back. So let us bring the spine back to its neutral position. And you can lay a few moments with your knees bent, just to let the spine deeply release to the ground. If your blanket is in reach, it can be a nice support for your head and your neck to completely unwind for our relaxation. Then you can choose to support the full length of your neck. And you may like to release your head and neck from side to side. Just very slowly massaging the neck, releasing the shoulders. Just preparing for our full relaxation. You can choose two options. You can cross your legs for a few moments, so that gives us more time for the joints to relax. Or if you feel ready for our relaxation, you can already go on straightening out your legs. So those are two options. It's good. Then you allow the arms and the legs now to completely become passive. If you feel warm enough to turn your palms open, just alongside your body, or you can rest your hands onto the abdomen. Just create space and freedom in the shoulders and the lungs. I can offer a little support behind the knees. You okay if I put just behind the knees? Yeah. There you go. Feels good. Feel that the joints are supported, your arms and your legs. As we practice to relax, we actually practice to restore the body, to rejuvenate the body. I'll come a little closer if that's okay. I'm just going to offer the blanket if you want for the head. There we go. Super. Just allow the body's awareness to keep us very present. You'd very naturally notice thoughts rising, thoughts passing. And thoughts are actually a support in our meditation practice. As we notice thoughts, we're very aware, and we can bring that awareness back to the body, back to the breath. Keeping the spine quite still, you can choose, if your legs are crossed, you can change the fold of your legs, or you can actually take time to straighten your legs for the last few moments. Let us give the body full permission to unwind. And we invite softness where there's tension in the body. And we invite a sense of ease where there's sometimes a sense of excessive effort, and we become effortless. And just keep the eyes quite quiet and the spine relaxed. I'll invite us to introduce a few more conscious breaths, even sighing out if it feels a good release. Few energizing in breaths. If you like to reconnect your hands with your heart, just realign with our intentions. And it'll invite us to vocalize these universal sounds. We feel a connection with ourself through sound. We feel our connection with our group and our environment through sound. If you're comfortable, let us vibrate together and empty the lungs gently. And we'll breathe into vibrate if you're comfortable. And you can gently just pause and feel receptive to the heart and the body's wisdom. And as you feel ready to move about your hands and your feet gently to introduce movement nice and slowly. You can stretch and yawn as it feels good. And hug the knees in if it feels a nice release for your back to massage the back from side to side. So let us enjoy a few moments on the side of the body. When you're ready, just enjoy lying and resting on our side a few moments. Yeah, and then take your time to seated. You'll come up nice and slowly. Keeping the spine, even keeping the eyes quite relaxed and quiet. I'll invite us just a comfortable seat for the last few moments. You can sit grounded. It can be nice to sit supported to relax your hips and the lower back. You can choose to have your eyes open or closed. And let's practice paying attention to the sensations of the body without any labels, without any judgment. Can we welcome the body as it is? Can we welcome the breath as it is? And as we listen attentively, can we welcome the moment as it is?